Hello friends, hope all are well and safe. Today we are going to dive into the concepts of strings in Python. So for what are you guys waiting for then? Let's start today's video. Basically in Python we have 6 different types of sequences. They are strings, lists, tuples, byte arrays, byte sequences and range objects. And today we are going to see strings. So let's start by creating a file string.py. So strings are basically enclosed in single quotes or double quotes. So let's see with an example. Print of hello Tara, which is enclosed in double quotes, and in line 3 print of today is Thursday, enclosed in single quotes. Let's try to run the program. There you see the output hello Tara and today is Thursday. If we start with one type, we should finish it up with the same type, otherwise we will get an error. Let's see with an example. Print of today is a good day. So I have started the string with double quotes and ending it with single quote. Let's try running the program. There you see the syntactical error. So if you're starting the string with double quotes, end it with double quotes. If you're starting the string with single quotes, try to end it with single quotes. Otherwise you will get an error. Basically in Python, if you need to include a single quote in a string, then you need to enclose a string in double quotes. Let's see that with an example. So print she told colon in double quotes and then giving again in double quotes, hi, no, I'm not feeling well. This results in an error. Let's watch out. There you see the error. So if I try to replace that double quotes with single quote, there you see the error has gone. So if you are using a double quoted string, try to use single quotes inside it and the output has come. So we can concatenate strings. Basically concatenation is a process of appending one string to the end of the other string, right? So you can concatenate strings in Python using the plus operator. So let's try it out with an example. Print of hello in double quotes plus Tara in double quotes. Let's run it out. There you see the output hello Tara. But if you want to give some space, so let's append space to it using plus operator. There you see hello space Tara. So this is a usage of concatenation operator called plus. Now let's try storing the value in a variable. Name equal to Tara. And let's give text equal to how are you, and try to print those variables using print function. Print of name plus text, and the output should be Tara, how are you. Okay, I've given quotes, so this is basically not a string, so you should give these without quotes because these are some variables. There you see the output. To make the output clean, let's add some space to it. There you see the output Tara, how are you. So basically in Python, we can take the input from the user using input function. So this function first takes the input from the user and converts it into a string and then assigns it over a variable. So this will always be the object type called string. Let's try it out with an example. Input from keyboard. We'll try to take the name from the user. Name equal to input of, please enter your name. Here the input function takes the name from the user and then assigns it to a variable called name. and we'll try to print it out using print function. We'll name it name1 as we already have name, and try to run the program. So it's asking us to type the name, so I'm giving Tara. There you see the output Tara. So basically here when the input function is called, it stops the program and waits for the user's input, and when the user presses enter, it just resumes the program and returns what the user have typed. So we can also use this by concatenating with text. Let's try it out. So let's get the name as Tara, press enter. There you see in text we have how are you. So we have concatenated it using the name which we have inputted through keyboard. Now let's try it out with other name, Kavya. There you see Kavya, how are you. So now let's try accessing individual values in a string, I mean individual characters from a string using indexing. Basically strings are ordered sequences. We can access the individual characters of a string using numerical index. So basically index in string starts from 0. Let's try it out with an example. Accessing values through indexing. Print of, let's give text of 0. In text we are having how are you. At 0 position we have h. Let's try running the program. Tara, there you see h, because text is how are you. At 0 position we have h. Now let's try to comment those two lines because it is continuously asking me to type the name. So now let's try giving a print of name index 2. Name we have Tara, and in position 2 we have R. So let's try running the program. There you see R. So now we can find out the length of a string in Python using built-in len method. So now let's go ahead and find out the length of text. Print of len of text text. So in text we are having 11 characters. There you see the output is 11, including the spaces. Now let's go ahead and print the length of name. Name are 4 characters, Tara. Yeah. So basically len function is used to find out the length of a string in Python. Now let us go ahead and check whether a string contains a specific phrase in it or not using in keyword. So basically this returns a boolean value. If it contains, it gives us true, otherwise false. So let's try to print today in text. So if today is in the text, then it will get true as a result, otherwise false. Let's run it. It's false because in text we have the value called how are you, but we are not having today in the text, therefore it has returned false. If we give it as how, then it will return true because text contains how. Let us go ahead and try with try Tara. If you want to check whether it is not in a particular variable, you can go ahead and give not in keyword. So Tara, not in name. If it is not in name, we will get true, otherwise false. So it is inside the name, therefore we got false as output. So not in behaves other way around compared to in. So that's basically the usage of in and not in Python to check whether a particular phrase is inside a string or not. Yeah, now let's jump into looping concepts. Basically, in Python, we have three types of loops: for loop, while loop, and nested loops. Loops and control statements are completely the different concept. We'll look into these in a separate video. Don't worry about that. But for time being, please learn how to iterate over a string using loops. So basically, a for loop is used for iterating over a sequence. It either could be a list, a tuple, a dictionary, or a set, or a string. However, in today's video we are learning about strings. Therefore, let's see how a string can be iterated over using a for loop. It's just that simple. The syntax of for loop is very simple. Let's go ahead and write the code now. For I in text, print of I. There you see the indentation. The indentation is very important because the IDE which I am using is already providing me with the indentation, but if your IDE is not providing, please go ahead and give the indentation. And there you see the output. I'm just iterating over the string called variable name called text. So each time the loop runs, the I as a variable takes different kind of characters, and there it prints the value, the result, using print function. Now let's go ahead and give number as a string using a variable name called number equal to 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then give that in for loop. There you see the output 1 to 6. So this is the usage of for loop and how to iterate over a string. Now let's see how strings can be used with if and else statements. The if statement executes a block of code when a condition is met, as we all know. This is basically used with else keyword, which runs a block of code if the condition in the statement is not met. So let's go ahead and write the code now. If Tara in text, as we all know, learn that the usage of in and not in. So it basically gives us true and false. So if Tara in text, then it should print this, otherwise it should print the other thing. Using else keyword, it should print it is present in the string, else colon it should print it is not present inside the string. Let's try to run the program. There you see the output Tara, which is not inside the string, therefore we got it is not present inside the string. So this is basically the usage of if and else with strings. Now let's reiterate everything that what we have learned in this entire video. Firstly, we went on with strings, how to use strings in Python, enclosing them in single quotes or double quotes. So if you need to include single quotes in a string, then you need to enclose a string in double quotes. And then the concatenation operator. Moreover, we went through the usage of plus operator and how to use it with strings. So going forward, we have stored the value in a variable, and then we have learned how to take the input from the user using input function, and then accessing the values using indexing, then the usage of len function. Moreover, checking whether a variable, a phrase inside a string or not, using in and not in operators, and then usage of for loop to iterate over a string. Yep, and lastly we have learned the usage of decision making statements, if and else, using strings. So I believe that this video is helpful for you all to understand the basic usage of strings in Python. So in coming videos we'll dive into the other concepts of Python. Until then, thank you for watching. Bye bye.